The second game in that trilogy of Japanese-exclusive shoot-em-ups that I talked about with July's Vattle Giuce came in the form of the Darius 2 port, Sagaia. This was Taito's attempt at competing with great series like Gradius and R-Type. Tell me though, how are you going to do that on the Game Boy if you don't release the games outside of Japan? That's a sore spot for me, but at least the system is region-free, so I don't mind these days importing these sorts of titles. What little text there is in the game is all in English anyway. In Sagaia, you pilot a craft from left to right, blowing away everything that moves. It's set in space, but the antagonists are decidedly marine-like in nature. You'll be fighting all sorts of fish, crustaceans and the like, as well as the normal alien forms you'd expect. The non-linearity of earlier Darius games that had branching paths and multiple endings was scrapped in favour of a much more straightforward route. There are 8 levels to traverse, each with a boss at the end. You can choose various settings such as number of lives and difficulty, rapid fire, and even your preferred control scheme. 1 button shoots and 1 drops bombs, and it's up to you which way around to have them. At the bottom of the screen there are 3 gauges that start off with M, B and A next to them. The letters can change depending on the strength, each with 4 squares after them. These are your power-up systems. Destroying certain enemies, they're in a different shade so are easily spotted, releases collectibles that increase these 3 characteristics. M is your main firepower. This starts as a single shot, doubling and then tripling up. You can then improve it to a spread shot, and further on through lasers, a wave gun, and other such more powerful ammunition. B indicates the level of your bombs. You need to fill all 4 squares and then collect a 5th bomb power-up to improve that, but it then fires a bomb upwards as well as down, so it's pretty useful. The 3rd gauge is your armor. It's possible to collect this shield that encompasses your ship, and this allows you to take a few hits. If you manage to upgrade any of these 3 power-ups to a new stage, i.e. where its designated letter changes, then you'll keep it for the rest of the game. However, if you die having only collected, say, 3 or 4 of a full set, then you'll be back down to 0. The bosses are excellently designed and have several weak spots each that you need to take out. For instance, there's a crab-looking boss that you must destroy the pincers and face of, a coelacanth beast with 2 fins and a gaping maw to take out, and so on. Before each boss, a klaxon will go off and a really cool text box will come on screen saying something like, "Warning, a huge battleship, Big Merman is approaching fast." Then the music changes and the fight ensues. After that, a similar box appears saying something like, "4th zone is over. We are now rushing into 5th zone. Be on your guard." The first 3 levels are doable, not easy for sure, but beatable. But stage 4 is where it really kicks up a notch. You have to make your way through a cavern, stopping at 3 places along the way to fight a rejuvenated version of the previous 3 bosses. They now have more health and different attack patterns though, so don't think it'll be as easy as it was before. After that, you're still not done. You've got to fight this gigantic mola fish thing. Quite frightening, but looks awesome. Get to level 8 and the same concept applies. I hope by now you maxed out those wave guns. There's a brilliant aesthetic to the whole affair. Backgrounds are subtle but well detailed, and the top and bottom of the screen have a foreground layer to them that scrolls at a different speed to the rest of the play area. The effect of this is a really cool feeling of motion, even when travelling through an otherwise monotonous tunnel. The music is sublime all the way through, and not cliched either. It's balanced very well with the sound effects. You can't have a good shoot-em-up without a good pew-pew sound, and sets a mid-tempo pace consistent with the speed of scrolling in the game. A brilliantly presented game with tight controls and a difficulty just on the right side of brutal makes Sagaia not only one of the best shoot-em-ups on the whole system, but one of the best Japanese exclusives as well. Believe it or not, however, there's a game out there that bests Sagaia in both of those categories. You'll just have to wait until December 1992 to find out what I'm talking about. Thanks so much for watching this video. The Kickstarter for the book is now live. Check the link in the description for how you can back the project and be the first to get your hands on the Portable Power Encyclopedia, featuring more than 900 Game Boy game reviews and a whole wealth of useful information on the world's favorite handheld console. See you later on.